baby girl. That's so sweet of you to come and be with me while I cook. Everybody, this is Extra Kitty. Her name is Extra. I named her that because she was a stray that came to my door while I already had 3 cats. So I took her in and she was extra. Alright, let's get started on my Mexican cornbread casserole. Cook a pound of ground beef and then drain it. That's easy. And of course I have everything already available to me, so let's get our pot down. This is a pot and pan combination. Okay, so I have a lot to put in here. I want to put that on a relatively high heat because it's meat, you know. And there's nothing special about this ground beef. I mean, any percentage of fat that you want. I've adapted this recipe from something I found online, and that's basically because my husband doesn't like sweet cornbread, so this is kind of an experiment. The original recipe calls for 2 packages of Jiffy cornbread, and man, that is sweet. So sweet. So we're trying something different here. I tried making this one time before with chicken. Chicken works too, but I want to see how it is with burger. For you folks who cook ground beef, throw the meat in and then leave it, and then come and grind it back up afterwards. Let me tell you that this is way less violent. A lot of times I will do that, and I come back and I see the meat is cooked whole. And then I have to chop it up after it's cooked, and it just won't come apart. So this is way smarter while it's red and crumbly to have patience. Stay with your pot or your pan. Keep on working that stuff until they're tiny pieces while it's loose. And today's video is real time here, so I think I'm going to take you along with me for everything I do, just about. And though I am not a gourmet cook or any professional, most of whatever I make turns out pretty good. And so I'll just kind of show you how I do things. This is Rebecca style, which is usually lazy and convenient. This casserole is just so easy, I'm telling you what. It's so easy. Alright, let's go get our colander ready in the sink to drain the meat. And what I use typically is some kind of dish or bowl or something. That little piece of meat on there. Guess you can just stay there, your little piece of meat. Okay, so I put a paper towel. If anybody kind of struggles with what to do with their grease, because you don't want to put it down the sink or in the trash can, this is sort of a hack that I do. So just put that on top of the paper towel. One last stir here. Turn the heat off. So, just dump that in there and let the plate and the paper towel catch the grease. And turn the pan opposite of what your instincts say, so that the grease will not drip down the side of the pan. Okay? You don't want that to go back onto the stove, and you don't want to have to wipe off the edge. So, there now. The fat from the meat will simply stay on your paper towel and congeal. And so you just simply lift your paper towel after it is hardened and throw it in the trash. So no hot grease anywhere until you're ready to deal with it. Okay, that is the meat part. Simple, tidy. So, 2 dirty dishes so far. I mean that I'm done with it. Sort of done with it. Alrighty then, we want to add 2 cans of corn. I say 15.25 because that's the size and weight of the cans that I have chosen. Can't get that open because of my nails. I need a knife. Handy dandy little tool here. You don't need canned corn necessarily. You can use creamed corn. The fact is that, as I said before, my husband doesn't like the sweetness in his savory Mexican food. So, corn being naturally sweet, we don't want to make it sweeter. That's just my husband's preference. I love creamed corn, but every can I looked at had sugar in it. I mean, lots of it. So drain your corn. I have one concern, and that is that without the creamy part, this recipe might be a little dry. So we'll see how it turns out. Alright then. Let's see. Next is a can of black beans. This one is 15.5 ounces. But that probably includes the weight of the water too, maybe? I don't know. I've never really thought about that aspect of how they weigh things in these cans. Is it the content or does it include the water? Now I am going to drain these beans, but you don't have to. There's hardly any real liquid in there. But I've just gotten into the habit of, depending on what I'm making, just rinsing the beans because, well, you know how when you're in a relationship, you like to do things and adapt to the way your partner likes them. And so, my husband not liking all the stuff that comes around beans, like it just weirds him out, So I rinse. Probably use this colander again, but I can't. I don't clean it in between uses because it's all stuff that's going into the casserole anyway. So I have written down in my recipe 2 cans of diced chilies, and that is because my husband can't get enough. He loves diced green chilies. So you can use just one if you're not crazy about that flavor. I love diced green chilies too. So Kitty's trying to get my attention over here. Oh. baby girl. Oh, my sweet baby extra. It's so funny how she has to be pet on her terms. Sometimes I just have to put my hand out to her and let her come and meet my hands as opposed to see that? She's so particular. So funny. Oh, look, here's Edda. I think they smell what I'm cooking and they're coming around. Well, maybe you'll get a taste. We'll see. Alright, back to what I was doing here, which was, yes, the diced chilies. And seriously, just one can is enough. It really depends on your tastes. And definitely the black olives are optional. Let's just go ahead and dump those in now. Yeah. Here's a piece of meat. It's not hot anymore, so there you go, guys. There. And now the diced chilies. I love these things in everything. Mostly soups and stuff. But they're really good in sandwiches too. Oh my gosh. It seems like I never have just an ordinary sandwich. I always have to add something like this or make it Italian. Sometimes mix up some mayonnaise with Italian dressing and oh, yum. Alrighty, I told you I was going to take you everywhere with me. Even to the trash can. This chair was left out. Stuck that back in. See my new dining room. Oh, I have gotten so much done lately, you guys. And I'm so happy about it. But I'm still not ready for a whole house tour. Okay. Let's go down to chop of 2 fresh tomatoes. Hello back. It's chop up 2 tomatoes. That's funny. Okay, now I don't need this for a minute. One tomato and come off of there. 2. Now I need my knife. Where is? I'm rearranging things all the time. Where is my knife? Where is my knife? Oh yeah, it's over here. I'm going to use the serrated edge. think it's so much easier to cut tomatoes with either a very sharp, regular knife. But a serrated edged knife never has to be sharpened. It always works. So, I always cut my tomatoes with this kind of knife. These tomatoes come from, well, actually you don't know. Most of you know that come from California that you can get these on the vine tomatoes. And actually they're just, they're just like any other tomato. But for some reason on the vine actually makes them, I think it seems to preserve them. So I leave them on the vine as well until I'm ready to use them. And they seem to be just, one cut above the regular tomatoes that you get. One tomato down. Let's get our next tomato. I don't know if my method of cutting tomatoes is actually very good, but I can't seem to stop cutting them this way. It's like become such ritual and habit now that I don't adapt or adopt to any other style. And I think my husband showed me to do it this way because he loves for me to make, and he will often make for himself the pico de gallo. Only his pieces come out way smaller than mine. But for what I'm making today, it just doesn't matter, Okay, that piece is like yucky. Let's get that out of there. Alright, let's just get these into the pan. And no, I'm not going to scrape them off the edge because my edge has a lip on it, as you can see. There's a little valley on the outside of the cutting board in order to keep drips in. So, and it's a big cutting board and I'm not going to try to wield it. So here we go. I want to rinse this and get it put away right away. I absolutely love my sink. I've never had such a nice sink before, ever in my life. This nozzle is so great. There we go. Just give that a little bit of a swipe here because I'm not going to leave it in here. Some things I like to clean and obtrusive item. So let's just get that back over here. This base I use to fill up the teapot on my stove. Okay, next. We want 2 packets of taco seasoning. Now, if you don't like your flavor that strong, only use 1, but I have got a lot of ingredients here, so turn that on to a medium heat for now. Warm all this back up. Aren't those pretty ingredients? We got red, green, and gold, my favorite colors, and brown. Art. This is a work of art. Okay. And onion powder too. Alright, so let's grab everything all at once here. Need some tacos. Taco seasoning. Uh-oh. Get back up there. And let's see, where is my onion powder? It's back here behind the salt. Need some pepper. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and put in the taco seasoning first. This packet, the seasoning was already at the bottom. This one, I can feel those spices are at the top, so I've got to tap that down a bit. Come on, get down. I can still feel a little bit of stuff at the top. I shan't be a perfectionist. How much onion powder? 1 tablespoon of onion powder. Make it my tablespoons, my measuring spoons up here. I just think they're so pretty that I leave them out on display. My roosters. Alright, here's my 1 tablespoon. Alright guys, I had to switch to onion flakes because my onion powder turned out to be too old and hard. It wasn't any good, so I figure flakes work just as well, and actually I prefer that. But I'm putting more in because I think that might come to the same amount as powder. Okay. Pepper to taste. And I love pepper, so it's a lot that I just put in. So we just gotta mix that in really well. little bit dry. You know, I'll bet this would have been better with creamed corn. But we still have a little bit of moisture in there from the tomatoes. Gosh, I probably should have put more tomatoes in there. Well, I don't know, that looks good to me. Alright, let's just let that sit. See, what else are we on to here? I've gotten all of the spices in there. I need some cheese. That's what I need. Let's get this thrown away first. Oh, hello, kitties. I meant to say hi. Now we want what? How much cheese do we want? 1 cup. Okay. Alright, I have this Fiesta blend. And I usually use this on my salads. Or, well, occasionally melt it over the top of something. Okay, we got our measuring cup. I wanted to show you as I look around here. See my door? Look at that. I have to change the color of the door and clean up all that wood. There were smokers in this house before I moved here, and we have still yet to scrub all the walls. Oh gosh, don't want to do it. But it's things like that, that blue door that really need to be taken care of. See, it used to be an outdoor room, that part of the house. So I covered up the clear glass in the door. Okay, quesadilla. You know, that doesn't look like enough. Let's get some more. I'm going to add another whole cup. I would think that the more cheese, the better. So, you know, I'm doing things a little bit differently than the original recipe, so I have to adapt a little. Like, I think I have more ingredients in here. I got more beans. I may have more corn. I can't remember. I just wrote down, you know, the things that I wanted to do and try. So if you read this recipe, there will definitely have to be some adaptations. That looks so good, I could just eat that plain, just like that. Or stick it in a flour tortilla and just eat it right now. So stirring that cheese really good. Really well. Proper English back. The cheese probably add a little bit more moisture to our meat mixture. Look how stringy that is. That is so stringy. This cheese is really different. Alright, I'm going to put that on a very, very low heat. Very low. So I can forget about that for a little bit. And, yeah, okay, so let's go make our cornbread. Need some butter and milk for that. At least my ugly blue door matches my stove. Grab some eggs. Such a beautiful day. Oh, it's heavenly. Alright, let's just have a seat here. Now, surely you can use a couple boxes of Jiffy cornbread if you want faster and sweeter, yes. But my husband wanted it from scratch and it doesn't want it sweet. So we want a cup of this yellow cornmeal. It's the first time I've ever used this bag, so before I left Tennessee, I just gave away so much food. Alright, now we need a cup of all-purpose flour, and that is back here. This is my fish mouth flour bag. Show you what I mean. Isn't that funny? This is what happened last time I opened this for something else that I baked. It looked like a fish. There's flour coming out of the fish's mouth. You know, I just don't cook with flour very often, so it is still a very full bag. And I store it in a Ziploc. Okay, now we need, they call for sugar, but we don't want it. We want some baking soda, baking powder. And we want 4 tablespoons of this. This baking powder is not that old. I think I got it like 6 months ago. So I know it's still going to work, but it is a bit chunky. I'm having to scrape it out of there. But, you know, I guess because cornmeal is so dense, it needs a lot of baking powder. Double acting. Alrighty then. Skip the sugar. We need some salt and we'll just take that out of my salt shaker. I guess maybe traditionally cornbread is a little sweet, but that's, and I love it that way actually. But with a Mexican casserole, I just think let's try something else. Alright, especially because my husband, I don't know where in the world he ever had cornbread that wasn't sweet, but he got it in his head that it should not be. So, accommodate. Alrighty. Now, that is the dry ingredients. We need to mix those separately than the wet, so we're going to go with a couple of eggs here. Where do I put this? I guess just right on the table. I don't have an extra bowl sitting around. Didn't think that far ahead. And now we need a whole cup of milk. Now, give this a mix. I just love using my handheld beater. It's so fun. Well, the recipe says not to mix it too thoroughly. I'm not sure why, but I'm going to take this back into the kitchen. Sometimes there's I seem to be in a high traffic time of day. Those cars were getting to me over in the dining room. Now they wouldn't normally bother me except for that one. I'm trying to share this experience with you all and make a video. I'm very, very aware of traffic noise. Let's melt some butter. Going to use this small skillet. Let's heat up our pan really fast here with a bit of a higher heat. need 4 tablespoons of butter for the cornbread. Oh yes, that's half. Okay. And I don't even remember what kind of butter this is. Very generic looking. Okay. Let's grab my spatula and guide that butter into melted land. God, I'm such a goof sometimes. I just can't even believe what a beautiful day it is today. In this area, it can go from snowing to wonderful sunny days and actually green grass outside. And I look around and just appreciate so much how far we've come. It's been so difficult to get this house renovated, and still going to be months and months and months before I can have it finished enough to give a home tour. But I'm looking forward to that day. I think we're melted enough here. Add that to our eggs. Butter's not too hot this time. Last time I cooked my eggs trying to mix in the butter because it was too hot. You think that's good enough? We'll just go ahead and put it in the flour and mix. I think I need my spatula here on the scene. There we go. I haven't made cornbread in ages. I remember when my mom made it once with the creamed corn in it, and we all just, oh, Mom, this is so good. And just, I've always done it that way ever since. But I haven't had children in the house in ages, so just me and my husband. He doesn't really care for it that much. But he is crazy about tamales. He loves tamales. And apparently tamales do not have sugar in the corn. So I think he's hoping that this will taste like that somewhat. But we shall see. We shall see. some off with the spatula. Not very well. Alright, let's just give this up here. Get that out of my way. I need that though. I need to grease a 9x13 pan, it says. Sure enough, spread out it's not sauce, it's not meat sauce, it's just a meat mixture. But we need to get that into a pan. Of course, right about now would be a good time to start preheating your oven to 350. Get some butter. So where's that other? Here we go. Okay. Butter's still kind of hard. It's not making it easy to get it in here. You know, some people, it's like if I would have thought about it and been a perfectionist, I would have had this butter softened and all just completely ready to go. But you are with me for real. You know? This is how I really do things. I just sometimes do it the hard way. Alright, let's get this out of here. Can't imagine that the buttered pan is all that important because I'm going to be putting some very warm ingredients in the bottom. Get you out of the way. Now, this pan is very heavy. I can't lift it over the casserole dish. Let's just get it close up and we'll transfer it. One scoop at a time. Does that not look delicious? Oh my gosh. I'm serious. I just want to throw that into a flour tortilla and eat it right now. I mean, you could. You really could. Okay, now there's enough out of there. Pan's not too heavy. Oh, yes it is. Oh my gosh. Let's put it right down to it. This pan is heavy even before there's anything in it. Okay. Big old dent. I'm going to put the dirty side on outward so it doesn't get in the burner. Okay, I'm just going to kind of spread that out as evenly as possible. Look at all that corn. I love corn. Corn, everything made with corn. I love corn. 350C. I did that when you weren't looking. just want to clear off my stove top right now and get all the dirty stuff out of the way. Maybe I'll just go ahead and rinse that. I don't have the fountain on very hard because it can get loud. But when I have this on full blast, all of that food just comes right out the side of the pan, and I love it. Alrighty. We should be able to put our cornbread on the top now. Okay. It looks like I don't have enough cornbread. But I'm probably very much mistaken. I don't know how much is, how this is gonna rise. Get some corn in my batter, but it doesn't really matter. Oh my gosh, I am hopeless. Okay. Right at the end of it here, so I'm gonna have to spread it out some. See, it looks like I don't have enough, but I'm going to kind of move some over from the other side. There's a big chunk right there. I think it's fun when the batter is on the edges. Pushing the some of the batter into the meat mixture, because I don't know, but I think it would make it more interesting. Alright, I think that's good enough. Alright, clean up a bit here. We are ready to put this in the oven now. My husband cleaned out my oven for me. Isn't he a doll? Okay. Let's cook that for about 45 minutes. Or until the cornbread is golden brown, is what I recall. And I don't think I'm going to leave that there. It's too loud. Okay. So you have the option of taking it back out after 45 minutes and returning it and putting cheese on it. But I don't know if I'll do that. Let me just show you around the kitchen while we're waiting. Oh, you've already seen it mostly, but I'll give you a bit more of a tour. We've got the kerosene oven stove there. Works tremendously. We keep the teapot on top for some humidity in the air. And my dining room, I didn't plan on putting the chair out here, but I was moving it out of the bedroom, and there it stayed. My cats love it. Oh, I don't know what to tell you guys. Just decorate. That's all I did. This kitchen was already pretty whole. Ooh, casserole's ready. Yay. Couple of hot pads. Oh, does that look gorgeous? Oh, steam in my eyes. Okay, how do I do this? Let me just grab this out with this one. Ooh, it's so pretty. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Look at those cracks. Yes, yes, yes. Here's my plate. Well, maybe I should just let it cool a couple minutes. Alrighty. I didn't let it cool down too much, but here we go. That seems like a reasonably sized piece. Wow. Oh my gosh, you guys, look at this. Doesn't look too bad. I need some sour cream now. Let me just go put this down on the table first. Let it cool off just a bit more before I add some sour cream. No sour cream, you guys. Darn. Let's just taste it without